11 people in the lobby here. I just figured with all this Metazoo news and all these different stories this week, it'd be a fun time to do a little live chat, hang out, open some extra boxes that I've got sitting around here. Because really at this point, they're really not worth keeping sealed. So I had a couple extra boxes. I've still got a bunch of boxes of UFO, some Karami, some native. Figured we'd do at least one of each tonight. Maybe spend some time talking to the chat. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot to say. What's up, Aaron? Joker's Favor, Mothhawk, Dr. Cards, Easton, Chartreuse. What's up, man? What's up, Catcher? But yeah, I just thought it would be a fun night to hang out. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Jerk? NKU, homie, checking in. What's up, man? I remember you. What's up, Cheese? We got the whole gang in here tonight. We'll do a poll here. I'll let you guys pick which box we open in the chat. If I remember how to do this. Start a poll. Not much, Dr. Cards. Alright, the poll is about to be added. Native, Karami, or UFO? I'll let you guys pick which one we start with. I'm biased, though. I don't want to open UFO first. I've opened so many boxes of UFO here lately. They're just almost not worth opening at this point. I'm debating on selling my zoo except for one of each box, says Kyle. Mothhawks is native. Lordy Hot Dog says save the best for last when Nick will be drunk. I'm not planning on drinking tonight. I was going to buy one on Whatnot, but I'd rather just not buy anything at this point. What's next for the investigation? I don't know yet, man. Are the salt caverns on Argos's Discord where people go basically to complain about things? That's like where the criticism takes place? Thanks, Bam Bam. Let's get that pizza bird. A lot of people saying native. Great content last few days. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Stizzy says Hello Kitty. UFO will probably have a secret rare. What's up, Team Rocket Rob? I always appreciate you seeing you here. Says thanks for the informational video. I always say I'm not going to drink. That's true. Caught up on your videos. They've been great. Thanks, Dr. Cards. Don't join it. I've never been in a Discord for anything. I made a Discord account and I tried to use it for a few days and I just never got into it. Let's check the poll here. Native is winning by quite a bit. 50% native, 15% Karami, and 35% UFO. 34 votes in 1 minute. Just chilling, watching you on TV. Playing video games, Mr. Matthews says. Easton says to tell the truth until Argos bans you. I thought the salt caverns were like an anything goes type of place. I don't think you could get banned from there. Kickstarter packs around $50 right now and whatnot. Okay, I think native wins the poll. Oh man, we already got 50 people in here. So we'll start with native. Seems pretty definitive. I actually just got 4 more boxes of native from Argos today. I won one of his eBay auctions, and it was a complete art set of native. So 4 boxes, and I believe I paid $240 for it. I thought that was a pretty good price. So I had this extra box of native sitting around that I replaced with those. I figured I'd open this. So this has been sitting on my shelf for a while, so maybe there's something good in here. This has probably been sitting around for like a year. What's up, PK? PK says hi from India. Might be the first person from India I've seen on a Metazoo stream here. This chat's going fast tonight. I like it. I like the vibes. I was on Metazoo Discord for about 1 week and got blocked for X amount of hours for an emoji reaction, says Bam Bam. Easton Evans actually got banned for telling the truth, says Vapor Trails. They can't afford to pay artists because of the Lambo funds, says Lordy Hot Dog. Nick, what's the over under if Argos is secretly bailing? I don't think he is. Cart Gal says, love the video about the artist. Thank you. Salt caverns are full of people talking about Andy. Are they getting banned for talking about Andy? Hi from Batavia. Oh, yeah, that's right. Chester Cheetah, a fellow Ohio native. Easton Evans was the Caster Cup winner, by the way. Really? Was Easton just in the chat? So Easton's the main guy that hasn't gotten paid, right? No, it's just Conspiracy Town over there. Lordy Hot Dog says, I think Argos had to make up an excuse. I mean, if that was a made-up excuse, it's a pretty good excuse. I don't think... See, that's the thing, though. I don't think Argos was selling all or most of his slabs. I think he's got a lot. I think people underestimate how much he really has. Dr. Card says, I got banned because I left the partner program due to all the lying and non-payments. I had to Google the artist. Jesus, this chat's going so fast. So Easton won this year's Caster Cup, and you've still not been paid, right? Maybe that will be the next video then. I'll have to talk to you in the DMs, though. We'll talk about it offline. All right, man, we got 62 people in here, and this chat is like on fire. First pack of native. Really, I don't even know what I'm looking for out of native. I really like the one of the serialized secret rares. It's like a blue frog. That's really, I don't even know what all the secret rares are yet, but that's the one that I really like. So I'd be hyped to pull that. I'd be hyped about another Piazza bird. Oh man. All right. Let me try to catch up on this chat. Easton says he's bailing. Did anyone else see those booster box eBay listings? Not Argos. They're going for less than $200 for a dozen booster boxes. A dozen of which set? They were at my local card shop before they dropped Metazoo, talking about Metazoo relationships. But why the high-end slabs, though? They take up too little to no space. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. He was selling grails, though. I got his Revive Unscratched Mothman PSA 10. Oh, you were the guy that bought that? Nice, bro. That's a good pickup. Is Metazoo still an L? It's not looking like a W. I wonder what the contract was like. Can't you sue for that money? Are you talking about the guy that won the tower? Thank you, Easton. Easton won 2022 and was paid, says Dr. Cards. Okay. So Easton also won the Dark Tower. Makes no sense to then have no inventory in your store strange. I think Argos has plenty of sealed stuff left. Krami Fund. What's the new business? Aura's Piazza. Yeah, the Aura cards too would be cool. I hope Andy jumps in the chat, says Cheeseburger. Everyone in the chat seems to want to talk to Andy. What's up, Daniel? Okay, let's get back to opening. I'm getting lost in this chat. I love it, though. This was why I wanted to do this stream. I figured a lot of people would have a lot to say. after the last 3 videos that I did, got a ton of comments and pretty good traction. Okay, so you were a finalist at the Dark Tower and didn't get paid, but you didn't. Okay. Thanks, Greg. Good to see you here, by the way, Greg. Greg says smash that like button. Cheeseburger says Salt Caverns is a joke, just a place to complain. Did you see Argo's collection tour? I did not. He calls it cards and coffee and more with an area to play games, so probably an LGS. What's up, Steve? Has the last... I don't think the very last one has been posted yet, has it? A dozen booster boxes. Oh, well, that makes sense. Nobody really wants Crypted Nation 2nd Edition. It was a mix of Crypted Nation 2nd Edition and Wilderness. A mix of the two. Sold for $200. I mean, that doesn't really surprise me, honestly. Well, according to them, Karami was not a core set, so the last core set they dropped was native back in the spring of 2023. You can ignore us, Nick. Just open the cards. I don't want to ignore you guys, though. You guys usually have some good feedback, some good input. And that's why I wanted to do a little bit of a live chat with you guys. I figured there'd be a lot to say. What's up, Alec? Man, this has been a shit box so far. Just nothing but reverses. What's up, Zach? Could you just imagine someone pouring coffee on their Kickstarter Mothman? Upside down cards and another fucking reverse. What are you chasing down right now for your collection? Well, I pretty much got every Revive board that I wanted now. So I was chasing Revive for quite some time, and that was a big focus of my collection, was buying redeemable Revive cards. So that was a big part of my chase. I bought a PSA 10 first sighting Mothman recently. I don't really know what I'm chasing. I've got pretty much everything I've been looking for. I recently bought, because there was this like interesting difference with the Mothman promo from the Mothman Festival this year. Some cards they labeled as a Dark Tower promo, and other cards they labeled as Mothman Festival promo. So I had graded mine, and it graded a 9, and they labeled it Dark Tower promo, and I ended up buying a PSA 10 from Argos that was labeled a Mothman Festival promo. But I was chasing down all the redeemable Revive cards that I still needed for my collection, and I pretty much got all of those. I pretty much bought most of the high-end cards that I really wanted. Out of these boxes that we're opening tonight, I obviously would still like to pull the Karami and Mothman Secret Rare. From Native, I do like that Secret Rare that's like a blue frog. I'd be happy to pull any Aura card and just sell that and probably make some money. Piazza would be nice from Native. From UFO, none of the Secret Rares that have been revealed from UFO. I don't think all of them have been revealed because there's like 10 different ones or 12 different ones. But none of them really do it for me. The UFO I just picked up on Black Friday because it was so cheap. It was like $19.99 a box. I figured it'd be something to open. It doesn't look like there's going to be a binder for Hello Kitty now. Do a video on the fan art winners not getting their prizes too. Yeah, I saw someone message. That might have been you that messaged me about that, Aaron. I've gotten a lot of messages on that Pokemon Instagram over the last couple of days. So I'm still getting back to some of you guys. Another reverse. What are we like? Are we 10 for 10? I just sold my Mothman Crypted Nation Revive board last week. What'd you sell it for, man? I thought I got a really good deal, but like every week the prices are like tumbling on everything. I paid $700 for a unscratched, redeemable Revive Mothman from like the first one, the Crypted Nation one. I thought that was a really good deal because the only person that offered to sell me their board, they wanted, I think, $12.50 for just the board. I think I could redeem. I already redeemed the card, but I think it's at PSA now, and I think if I sold it, I'd probably get that $700 back and just keep the board. If it got a 9 or a 10, probably. Um, all this Metazoo talk, making the channel grow and grow fast. I love it. Thanks, Aaron. I like this the Sky Snake alt art. Do you think Metazoo is going to make it? Honestly, I don't know. And honestly, after talking to the artists and hearing so many of their individual stories and just how rotten some of the stuff going on within Metazoo seems to be. And honestly, another piece too, I've had people reach out to me since I made that artist video that worked for Metazoo in different capacities, and they all had very similar stories. And hearing some of those stories, it really does make me wonder if they even know how to salvage the company. Honestly, talking to some of those artists, it made me not really want to make Metazoo videos anymore. I can see why a lot of people, pretty much everybody, has dropped out. And I was actually considering, like, maybe I just stop talking about Metazoo for a while until they figure their shit out, because there we go, it's our first holo, Birth of the Sun. Because it's honestly, it's pretty bad, and it really has gotten so toxic, but it's, like, deserved. No one has anything to say positive about Metazoo. And there's just so much negativity. And even in making the videos, it's like, I know I'm contributing in a sense to some of the negativity, but it's like deserved. And it's just constantly like this pattern of they're fucking everything up and pretty much making every wrong decision that they could possibly make. Like any opportunity they have to make a good decision or do the right thing, it seems like they just do the opposite. And at a certain point, you can't really make any excuses for them. And it's hard to, even if you have the most rose-colored glasses on the planet when looking at Metazoo, it's hard to come up with anything positive to say about anything that the company has done other than like the artwork on the cards, the concept is cool. Like pretty much every other decision that they've made as a company kind of sucks. So it's kind of tough. Rainbow Crow. I really like this card, by the way. People love the videos, though, and the drama. It's crazy. Oh, I think that is going to be the next video. Get in contact with the cup winners and interview them. They should be able to talk. Big Zoom interview with all the winners. That would be cool. When you're making fun of yourself with how shit you are with money, I was laughing a lot. Good, man. I'm glad you enjoyed that. It's not looking like it's going to make it. They need a video game or a cartoon. Otherwise, it's going to be done. You know, I was watching that interview where Mike was talking about the $50 million number from 2022. And I was listening to the beginning of that interview where Mike was talking about the future of Metazoo. And everything he said sounded really good. And that's the problem with Metazoo, is they say a lot of good things that gives people hope, like the letter that they came out with this year. And in the beginning of that podcast, Mike was saying all this great stuff about how 2023 is going to be the year about growing the Metazoo IP, the book, the video games, the animated TV show, growing the universe of Metazoo outside of just the cards, and making these recognizable characters that people are going to be, like, just expanding the IP was the goal for 2023. And that interview was early 2023. And obviously, here we sit in 2024, and literally almost nothing that he mentioned in that interview happened. Even though in the interview it sounded really good, and I was even listening to it knowing that that stuff didn't actually happen. But I was like, it still gave me a little bit of hope for Metazoo, because it seems like Mike has the right idea, but none of it has materialized. We actually have 100 people watching. Gary, King Pokemon's in the chat. What's up, man? He says, I'm never very up on the drama, and he hasn't sold a single item in his Metazoo collection. That's pretty impressive. Metazoo is the first that actually caught my heart. Would love to see your top picks for Fan Art 2023. I was thinking about doing a video like that, actually. Man, this is a very reverse hollow heavy box. Cart Gal says, I really want Metazoo to make it and stick around. They need to come out with a new rarity. That's what they really need, says Tundra. Maybe do a Metazoo giveaway, Nick. Probably I need to, because I've got so much Metazoo stuff hanging around that's not really even worth selling at this point. No, I haven't pulled any secret rares today. We just started this stream. Whenever they needed money to pay out tower players up to Dark Tower, they would offer us partner products that were supposed to be sold out and came from nowhere, says Dr. Cards TCG. Off-topic Pokemon advice. I got real lucky the other night on Whatnot and won a Pokemon Ultra Premium 151 box. Open or keep sealed, says Bam Bam. I would open that thing, man. I'm loving this chat. This is like the fastest one of my Metazoo chats has ever moved, and I really like it. Did you see the Discord post in December 2022 saying that it was a $50 million valuation, not revenue, and they used a multiplier to get that valuation? Was it done by themselves? I did not see that Discord post. I don't see most of the Discord posts because I never was on it. King Pokemon says, help Mike pay the Dark Tower players, please. Legacy needs to be printed first to come out. They ran out of pre-order money to print stuff, says Plastic Man. What's up, Stampa? People should have spoke up like some of us have been screaming sooner, and it wouldn't have gotten so bad. Your YouTube success gives you the power to not be bullied and has made all the difference. Thank you. Thank you, The Catcher. I appreciate that. I think that's partially true. Cheeseburger, you have not been banned from chat. I think that's partially true. Because on one hand, I feel like there have been a lot of people that have made video, because Metazoo's they've been doing things the wrong way for like a couple years now. And I think my first hypercritical video of Metazoo was like almost a year and a half ago. So these are issues that I feel like people have been addressing for a while. And Metazoo hasn't really responded to the criticism up until the letter that we got about a month ago, or just a couple weeks ago, I guess. Did you open any Paradox Rift? I did. I opened some off camera. When I had my friends over for Christmas, we got some ETBs of Paradox Rift. Rainbow Crow. King Collections has been following you since you started on the original channel. Nice to see we both collect as well. Awesome, bro. Maybe Gary can have a chat with Mike. Gary seems like a very reasonable guy, says Vapor Trails. I agree with that. I think my ideal outcome, I would like to see some sort of response. Metazoo addressing the artist leaving. Because I really feel like the artists were probably afraid to speak out on their own for fear of retaliation or being singled out, or being the person with the target on their back. But they really wanted their experience to be known by the fans. I think they need to respond to some of the things said about Andy's management style at the very least. My ideal outcome would be to do an interview with Mike on this channel. And again, not a bad faith interview with no gotcha questions. But if I could do an interview with Mike and ask him like all these hard questions that we have, and he would give an honest answer, I think that would be a good step in the right direction for Metazoo. I mean, if I actually got to ask him, you know, why have the tower people not been paid? Why have the players not been paid? Why was Legacy really delayed? I would honestly like to ask Mike, in his opinion, what does he think the state of Metazoo is right now in 2024? I think that would be a question that I would like to hear his perspective on. Him looking at Metazoo right now, what does he think of the state of it? a Synthma full hollow. Nick, can you do a celebrity boxing match with Umu? I don't have a problem with Umu. I don't think Umu has a problem with me either. I think a lot of stuff he does is satirical. Easton says he isn't going to do that. They're probably working through an acquisition right now. I know. I just feel like with all these criticisms and all the negativity aimed at Metazoo right now, I think the community would really appreciate hearing, something from Metazoo besides just that letter. Like hearing Mike or Andy actually speak in a video and address some of these things in a personal way, not just a typed out letter. Dreamcatcher reverse. You should box Andy. I've got no problem with him. I only know what the problems that other people have had. Based on what I've heard about him, I don't necessarily like him just based on that first impression, but I've never met the guy. I've never talked to the guy. But if the things that people say about him are true, I don't really have a great impression of him. So what's the story with the salt cavern thing? So many people are mentioning the salt caverns here. What exactly happened? Just people getting banned? Don't think we will ever hear. I've seen like 20 people mention the salt caverns in the last 5 minutes. Dino Paul, what's up? Dino Paul TCG. No, it's where you can complain at the salt. Some people have pointed out that you do company valuations when you want to sell or go public. They may not have been able to get a decent offer in 2023. Did you guys see the jellyfish UFO? I did see that video. I thought that one was a little bit suspicious, though. That one looked like a smudge on the camera or something. Didn't the full hollow Grim Reaper first edition used to be like $50? Now it's like $5, says Tundra. Oh, I'm sure when Nightfall first came out, a raw Grim Reaper could have been over $100. I'm surprised it's even hanging out at $5. Hop into Argos Oasis server. That's where the party is at. There must be some wild shit going on over there. What's up, Jimmy Cutlets? One of my favorite usernames to read. Charles Gibson just wanted to shout you out from Louisiana. You got some fans here who dig your content, bro. I appreciate you, man. Pretty sure I paid like $50 for a PSA 10 Grim, I think. You might have bought it from me because I've sold a couple PSA 10 Grims over the past few months, and they have not been going for much. Otherverse, I just got your booster box, by the way. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing that opening very soon. Shout out to Otherverse TCG. Really nice. I really like the acrylic case that you had it in. It was in like a custom Otherverse acrylic display case. It looks really nice. But yeah, it's very, very cold here. I think right now it's like 8 degrees. Who is Mal? I see people asking if Mal is here. Isn't Mal banned along with the Caster Cup winner? Mooey. Man, this box is really sucking. Look at 90s Pokemon. You can get unlimited base set 2 holos as low as $5. That is a custom acrylic case. Keeps some of our collectors from ripping the boxes right away. But we all know packs are made to be ripped. That's a fact, man. So what do you guys think? I think I should do a poll. Do you guys think Metazoo is going to make it or not? Because I got to tell you, on that last video about the artist leaving, I don't think I've ever seen so many familiar Metazoo faces. Nice. Frozen Karn Fusion Aura. So finally a hit. I don't think I've ever seen so many familiar Metazoo faces all saying they're done. Whether it's people that I'm just used to seeing in the chat or other YouTube creators or people that I see on Instagram, it was like a pretty universal I'm done with Metazoo situation. And like I said, even me, after talking to the artist, I have considered stopping making Metazoo content. I might still collect some cards for my personal collection, might do a booster box opening here and there, but honestly, I'm tired of making negative content. I'm tired of there only being something negative to say. There's no new product to open because everything keeps getting delayed. So that would be about the only positive thing you could do is open new product, and we don't have any new product to open, so there's nothing really exciting to open. The boxes that we do have, like UFO, like I'm not even excited to open this box. It's almost not even worth opening. Justin says he thinks they'll make it. I just hope they get the management issues sorted out. I think they can still rebound from this. Several people saying they think they have to sell the company. Just curious, do you feel any responsibility to keep Metazoo alive for the sake of those who can't afford to take the financial loss? You did say you and Argos can afford it. Not really. Because who am I keeping it alive for at this point? For Metazoo? Because most people seem not too happy with it. Most of the fans in the community that is really the reason why I enjoyed making Metazoo videos. And the Metazoo community is so cool and so welcoming. And everyone was like so passionate about it in the beginning and even in the middle towards now. But now no one has anything nice to say about Metazoo. King Pokemon says it'll make it. The TCG community roasted Pokemon in 1999. And they didn't, and they let me know it. Glad I didn't listen. That's true, but for every Pokemon, there's probably 100 other companies where people said they're not going to make it because of bad decisions, and then they didn't make it. So it is true that Pokemon is a very unique case. What set it all off? The Hello Kitty discount, I would think. I do think that was kind of the beginning of the end, yeah. And one of the things that the artist did say is their decision to leave was not related necessarily to anything going on outside of Metazoo, like the Hello Kitty situation or product being late. A lot of them said, we didn't even know that some of this stuff was going on. We were just focused on, our jobs, getting paid, and what was going on at work. And they weren't even really aware of some of the pre-order delays or, the secondary market prices or whatever. So they said it was just kind of the perfect storm with their timing of leaving. They weren't really paying attention to some of the stuff that was going on outside of their own jobs. Dakota says the typical kid does not know what Metazoo is. I was just saying that earlier. I think one thing that they could do that a lot of people would appreciate, and it doesn't have to be me, but if Mike did an interview with someone that asked them these hard questions that the community really wants an answer to, like why are the players not getting paid? Why is Legacy late? What exactly happened with Karami? Why did TCG Player do that? Was it something that Metazoo was aware of, or did they just did it without asking? You know, some of these tougher questions, if Mike did an interview where he gave like an honest answer, I think the community would appreciate that to an extent as much as we appreciated the letter. Nick, if Metazoo is only able to deliver quality card products but fail on shows, manga, or collabs, do you think they will be fine? I don't know. Because so many of their core fan base has left, I feel like they've got to do something that's going to appeal to bringing new people back in. Because I think so many people have gone now, they've got to do something to attract new people. All right, let me put the poll. I'm curious to see the reaction to this. Do you think Metazoo will make it? A yes or no poll. And then you guys can also say in the chat why or why not or whatever, and I'll try to read some of those as well. You should do a video on the comics and how rushed it is. Yeah, honestly, the manga feels very half-assed to me. I only read the first one. I took a look at the second one and saw that the quality was about the same, and I haven't read one since. Nightfall's been $45 for a couple weeks now, Skylar. I agree with that, Sneaky. I think that Topps Chrome was one of the most, not only the most hype sets, but one of the most fun sets to open that Metazoo ever came out with. It was certainly one that I enjoyed the most. If Metazoo shifted to only 5,000 to 10,000 booster boxes, that may be a big saving grace, says Brandon. Well, I think everybody probably agrees that the print runs need to go down because the demand is just not there for what they've been doing. Holy shit, I just realized we've got 128 people. That is a lot of people for a Metazoo stream. Billy says Metazoo is dead. Tundra says Aoki was like the Logan Paul for Metazoo and laughed my ass off. Got his bag, then left. They don't care about the cards, just the cash. Electric Style says, I really wonder how Metazoo can sell War to local game stores. Wouldn't they have to sell at $30 to $50 a booster box to get them on board? Would they even do it? Or would that even do it or have LGSs signed off completely? I don't know the answer to that. It certainly seems like a lot of LGSs have been burned, but I'm sure some still remain. King Pokemon says his son has not been involved since his illness last year, involved with Metazoo. A lot of people in the stream, bro, because we need hope. Get Mike on here. He might be watching. Like I said, I would be open to doing a good faith interview with Mike, asking some tougher questions. No gotcha questions, nothing weird. But just like some honest answers. And I think if he was authentic in that interview, I think it would please a lot of people. I really do. All right, let me check the poll. Ooh, the poll is close. We're going to leave that up. 49 to 51. Now it's 48 to 52. We'll leave that up for a while. Wow. That's a close poll. 47-53. It's moving. Another reverse holo. Kissy Necro says, it will not happen. Mike does not discuss well with tough questions. and he only wants people hyping up. Well, I think that's why it would be a good thing for them to do. I think because that seems to be so many people in the community. That's their opinion of what they've been doing. That would at least indicate a shift. That's the whole point. It's obviously that's the perception of Mike and Metazoo is that they don't like criticism, they don't like tough questions, the banning people in the Discord and on social media or whatever. I think it would help shift that perception. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. The interest in Metazoo is because everyone wants to see the carnage happening, says Stellan. Dr. Card says, I have an LGS that I own, and I was the only LGS within Connecticut that even carried it. I will never carry it again. Harsh words from Dr. Cards. Billy Campbell says, we don't care about Mike. Mike is the reason it's in the ground. His childish behavior is the reason the partners left, and him thinking he was a god when he banned everyone. I don't know. That's the little bit of faith that I have. Is that they will respond to all this current drama with a good response. Whether it's a public statement, whether it's an interview, whatever it is, I'm hoping that they respond in the right way and maybe say something of substance that people can cling on to that still want Metazoo to succeed. I think an issue a lot of people may not understand is that Mike may not be able to get rid of Andy because he's not capable of replacing him at the moment, says Brandon. Well, I think also what I heard was Mike and Andy were friends. All the product is on the bargain bin table, says Kevin. Another reverse. I think we only got one pack left of this native box. Got 2 packs left. Let's see if we can pull something out of here. 145 people watching. Make sure you guys click that like button. Brandon, I'm not sure. It's hard to replace someone who can't manage to respect or meet deadlines consistently. How can you do worse? Says Craw is ballin'. As soon as Dark Towers are paid and I'm sent the money they owe me, I will leave peacefully. What money do they owe you again, Dr. Cards? Did you already say and I missed it? I think Chrome Sapphire would be great, yeah. I would probably open it on a live stream, Otherverse. It's way more fun to open stuff live. Tundra says, I don't think it was a cash grab at first, but turned into one. I still don't necessarily think it was a rug pull. It seems so much more likely, like listening to Mike talk about Metazoo, talking about all the passion that he had when he started it and how much he loved the idea and just how interested he was in cryptids and all the ideas that he had in the beginning. It really does seem like it was a passion project of his. So I have a hard time believing it was a rug pull from the beginning. I really think that it's much more likely that it was just horribly mismanaged. Pokemena says, I have something nice to say about Metazoo. When I had about 20,000 subs, Mike Woodell sent an email and free product. That motivated me to make even better content and reach goals that I never thought of. There you go. I guess we should be more specific. It's hard to say anything positive about things they're currently doing. I've got plenty of positive things to say about things they've done in the past. Tommy Toyman Break says everyone is too involved in the behind the scenes drama. You think so? I think this is the kind of stuff that people need to know. K2 says, I think it was planned. How do you explain 100K wilderness and UFO? Again, horrible mismanagement. Aside from the Hello Kitty set, I love the physical watercolor artwork for the first few sets. That's one thing that I forgot to mention in the artist video, is they had also told me, so in addition to the commission going down on the digital work, there was much more digital instead of traditional that went towards the Karami set. So a lot of the work that was being done was not at that 380 number. A lot of it was at that 130. And it was more heavily focused on digital with the Hello Kitty set. Fizzgig says, hey Nick, me and Pee-wees are doing a big documentary on Metazoo and would love to interview. Would you be interested? Absolutely, man. All right, what do you guys think? Actually, I'm going to pick this one because I want to do Karami next. Save UFO for last. I'm just so not even stoked to open UFO. What's the premise documentary going to be? I can definitely also see it from your perspective, K2. K2 says, so they were smart enough to only do 25K of first edition, and then 50K of Nightfall, and then double. That's not mismanaged. That's testing to see what you can get away with. I can definitely see that perspective as well. Chester Cheetah says, you have to remember they were working with Channel Fireball at the time of some of that set, and they encourage hype. That's actually a very good point. They did the same to Flesh and Blood and other indies. That's actually a really good point. Otherverse says, tonight or another night? It will be another night. This is just going to be Metazoo on this particular stream. I think I'm going to separate this one out like I did the other one and do all the Mothman packs first. Gladiator Collectibles, man. See, it's tough to hear that so many people have gotten rid of all their Metazoo completely. Nick throwing shade at Rudy. What's up, Gladiator? Nightfall stayed at 200-ish a box for months after release, says Toyman Breaks. K2 says, I have PSA 9 blue ink for sale if someone wants it. Nick, if you want it, I can message you. I actually already have a PSA 9 blue ink. I might be looking for a PSA 10, though. I pulled the PSA 9 myself, and that's why I haven't sold it. I'm just a little bit more attached to the ones that I pulled, those big hits that I actually pulled myself. Nick, at this point in time, I think it's best to sell any Metazoo and try to earn some cash back to go into other TCGs. I will say this. I'm definitely not going to sell my entire Metazoo collection. I've definitely liquidated big chunks of it, but the stuff that I like and the artwork that I really enjoy and like the characters like Loveland Frogman, for example, I've said this 1,000 times, but I live very close to Loveland, Ohio. So the Loveland Frogman was something that I heard about growing up. And that's what originally got me into Metazoo, was when I found out there was this Loveland Frogman character in the game. That's what got me interested. So I really like some of the cards, and I will probably never completely get out of Metazoo. Even if they did shut their doors tomorrow, I think I'd keep a lot of the cards that I collected because I bought the stuff that I really liked. Now, maybe some of the other stuff that was a little bit more speculative that I held on to thinking maybe it'll go up in value. Maybe this will be something, to hold on to because it'll be worth a bunch of money one day. Some of that stuff that I wasn't as interested in personally, I've been selling. But the stuff that I like, I still like, so I'm going to keep it. The Mothhawk says he agrees that it's just mismanagement. He said he thinks Mike's original vision was genuine. I agree too. I've watched a lot of the earlier podcasts that Mike did, talking about just how passionate he was about this project. And he had so many things to say about the time that he spent like making spreadsheets and looking at all these old cryptid newspaper articles and doing all this research. And it seems like something he really truly was passionate about. And it seems like it would be an odd choice for something you're so passionate about to just be one big elaborate rug pull. His tone and his inflection in those interviews seemed like he was genuinely passionate about this project. And some of the ideas he did have were really good, even though a lot of them never came to fruition. Yeah, the old interviews gave me the same vibes, says Mothhawk. Mothhawk, do you think you'll ever start making videos again? I was really starting to enjoy some of your Metazoo content. It seemed like in the past couple months you were really ramping up and making a lot more than usual. Phil says, my God, I didn't know they shut down the Discord. That was at the very beginning of the year. Oh, I just noticed Chris is in the chat. What's up, Chris? I need to visit Loveland, Ohio. I would love to see the castle. Oh, you've never been to the Loveland Castle? That's another thing that really got me into Metazoo is when I was a kid, all my cousins are about my same age, and they're all boys. And when we were kids, our aunt and uncle, or my grandma, or whoever, they would take us to the Loveland Castle pretty frequently. It's like if you're a little kid, it's a really fun place to go. So I remember multiple times in my childhood memories at that castle, and my grandma would buy us, like, they had a little gift shop there. My grandma would buy us little swords and daggers and stuff from their little armory. The Loveland Castle is really cool. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. Karami and Chibi Unicorn. Metazoo Menace says, what do you think Metazoo will look like in April when all the product is finally caught up? Or will it be caught up by then? I think that's the biggest question, Metazoo Menace. I think the question when April comes around is if everything is caught up. Joker's Favor said, it would be so easy for Metazoo to just deliver on their simple promises. It's a shame what's going on right now. I agree. I don't know, Mike Waddell seemed quite nice in person, so Joker's Favor. Yeah, I will say, I don't know if Mike remembers this because I didn't make any Metazoo videos at the time, but at the first Collecticon, I met Mike too. I actually took a picture with him. And he was a really nice guy. I think he was a little bit awkward and not really used to people coming up to him for a picture because it was very early on in Metazoo, but he seemed nice enough in person. He was just a little awkward. I think that was the Houston Collecticon where they had the Nightfall spoiler pack. So it was before Nightfall came out. Toy Man says, we're at a bump in the road. Some guys leave the game, new guys come in. I certainly hope that's the case. I do like to see that there's still some optimism that Metazoo can make it. Hey, that's a good point, Pikachu. Some of the biggest assholes behind closed doors act like super good people in public. That's a very fair point. Oh, nice, dude. So we're turning things around a little bit with this Hello Kitty box. Hello Kitty and Karami right off the bat, Sanrio 6. I think one of the more desirable of the Sanrio 6. I think still going for close to what, like $80 maybe? Maybe this is actually going to be a good box. Why did my music stop? There we go. And where did my chat go? Okay. Do not underestimate the Bitcoin mine. What are we talking about Bitcoin for? All right, so our 2 hits tonight so far, just breaking into this Metazoo opening tonight. The Hello Kitty and Karami, Sanrio 6, and one of the fusion auras from Native. But overall, that Native box totally blew ass. Jeff West says, I enjoyed venting my good news. What was the good? Oh, so you made some money on Bitcoin. That's what you're saying. Didn't they update their gameplay rules recently or something? I have no idea. Is Bitcoin up right now? I honestly haven't been paying attention. I got out of crypto about a year ago. I sold everything that I had in crypto, and I already put it into collectibles. Can you open a first edition Crypted Nation box tonight? I do have one. If the chat stays this lively, and we've got like 150 people in the stream all night, maybe. If we're done with this box and we've still got this many people chatting and in the stream, I'd rather open Crypted Nation than UFO, to be completely honest with you. The more I look at this UFO box, the less I want to open it, because my UFO binder's already full. The hollows are like worthless. And unless I pull a secret rare. I will say, though, I actually don't have a neutrality totality aura in a PSA 10, so I would like to pull one of those from UFO. But at this rate, I could probably just buy one for like less than $50. But I do get everyone has a unique experience, etc., etc. Mike Waddell actually private messaged me in Discord quite a while back, and it was very nice to come. Yeah, I will say, Mike has messaged me as well on several occasions, and every time that I talked to him, it was fine. He was totally polite, and I'd never had any. I had that one issue with him, but that's it. Tundra says 100 likes, everyone like now. Oh shit, I haven't even checked my other phone. I've got a bunch of notifications. Let me text my... Make sure I'm not missing anything important in my DMs here. Okay, cool. Metazoo Nick just messaged me. What did he say? Okay, we're back. The catcher says Metazoo full comeback. Theme is too strong and too many things in the works. Everyone's a G. Yeah, I want to be clear. As much as I've been pointing out some of these negative things that I think need to be pointed out, and as critical as I've been with Metazoo, I want to be clear that I do hope they succeed. I do hope that Metazoo is able to turn things around. And the outcome that I want is not for the outcome to be Metazoo closes its doors and just goes to zero and shuts down. That's not what I want. I want the community that's so disappointed right now to one day be impressed and glad they stuck around. That's the outcome that I want. I want Metazoo to thrive and succeed and figure out for whatever reason they've been making all these wrong decisions. I want them to see what the community is saying. And I want them to see what even their own artists are saying and fix these things and make Metazoo a brand that people are proud to support. Because I think that's a big thing right now, is that people are not proud to be associated with it. And that's why so many content creators have dropped off of covering Metazoo, because they don't have anything good to say. They're not proud to be associated with it. every time someone mentions Metazoo, it's something bad. And I think that's important for me to say is when I talk about this stuff, it's not because I want Metazoo to fail. It's because I want them to fix the problem and I want them to thrive and be successful and I want the community to be happy. I want to see a chat this big one day with hundreds of people in the chat constantly chatting about a great decision that Metazoo made and saying, wow, Metazoo really hit the ball out of the park on this one. Metazoo really surprised me or impressed me. Or wow, that last Metazoo drop was great. That's what I would love to see that. Kevin says, I kind of think Andy dating the artist and the other artist being salty for her special treatment is something that tore Metazoo up internally. It certainly seemed like a big issue. And one of the things I would really like to ask Mike, even though I didn't even order one of the streamer kits for native, is I get that they've already kind of given the excuse with Legacy and SCP and War that they kind of pushed all that stuff that was supposed to come out like late summer and early fall. They pushed all that stuff back to really make room for this Karami set, and that's kind of the excuse they've already given for this. But the native streamer kits being over a year late, I would like to hear like a legitimate answer as to why that happened, because I don't think Karami is a valid excuse for that. Any Metazoo cards you recommend getting? I think right now, some of those Revive cards, the redeemable ones, if you can pick up a Revive card for $50 of like a really well-known character and you can still scratch it and get the board, I think that's still a great deal. That was one of the first things that I started going after when the prices came down was redeemable Revive cards and then redeeming them. Because honestly, one of the things that I'm really afraid of is if Metazoo does continue to go south, that maybe one day in the near future, you might not be able to still redeem those cards for a board. They might not still be shipping them out. So I was trying to get as many as I could in a short amount of time and redeem a bunch of them while Metazoo still has the boards and while Metazoo is still around shipping them out. So that was a big thing for me because I kind of had this fear that if Metazoo does continue to go in a bad direction, that maybe those Revive cards one day would not be able to be redeemed. So I was trying to redeem all the ones that I wanted while I still could. And I think that's something you can go over relatively cheap. King Pokemon says, you all want a Metazoo scoop. I think everyone here wants one. Is Gary King Pokemon about to spill some valuable Metazoo tea? Karami's roller coaster. I think that's a reverse, right? I appreciate that, Gary, by the way. He says if we get to 175 here, he'll drop it. 175 live viewers or 175 likes? I want to know what Gary has to say. Another question that I would like to ask Mike is what involvement does Steve Aoki still have with Metazoo? Because I thought it was really interesting that they stopped doing the Hero Quest sets. Then Steve Aoki recently did a release of his own Hero Quest bundle where he made his own Hero Quest trading cards to be included in that bundle and didn't use Metazoo that time. I thought that was interesting after hearing these rumors that Steve Aoki might be out. The fact that he did his own trading cards when he's a partner in a trading card company and didn't use them, I thought that was interesting. I think if we hit 175 live viewers, that might be close to the most viewed. No, I think at one point for Topps Chrome, we had over 200 people watching those Topps Chrome streams. Topps Chrome was pretty exciting. Kane22 says, I'm imagining he was an investor and got out by now. King Pokemon is now teasing that there's going to be 2 scoops. I will match Gary's enthusiasm here. If we get to 175 live viewers, I'll open a box of first edition Crypted Nation instead of UFO. So we'll double the reward here. You'll get 2 scoops from Gary. Nice, Chibi Rose. And we'll do a first edition Crypted Nation instead of UFO for our last box. I know that Aoki still has Metazoo in his Instagram bio. Gary says free scoop coming. Reverse Chibi Command. Oh, wow, there is 176 votes on the poll. Do you think Metazoo will make it, which currently stands at 57% no and 43% yes. Gaming with Alex says, no, trust me, there's a secret rare in that UFO box. Post a community on your main channel to join the stream. Gary says, Steve is very much involved with Metazoo. We're messaging right now. The plot thickens. Chibi Mothman, we'll count that as a hit. I like that card. Does he know about this stream? This live stream is generating more revenue than Metazoo in 2024. That's the truth. This is definitely one of the most active Metazoo chats I've seen in a very long time. Unfortunately, the catalyst for that was all the drama that's been happening with Metazoo. But it's still good to see there's passion, whether it's positive or negative. Charles says, damn it, Nick, we know you like to waste money. Open the CN1 and the UFO box. Tell Aoki to put the cake down and join. King Pokemon says he already tried, but he's laying down in his room. What does Steve Aoki say, Gary? What is his opinion on the current state of Metazoo? I appreciate that, Justice. Justice said that's because you're doing more for the Metazoo community than Metazoo is doing for the Metazoo community. I also feel like, honestly, the reason why these videos have been getting so much traction is because everybody else is gone. There's no other Metazoo videos to even watch. Joker says, I really hope Metazoo wakes up and comes back. Everyone loves a good comeback story. That's also very true. We're getting close to Gary's 175 number, though. We're at 159 right now. My melody. This has been a relatively decent box of Karami so far. I think we're only a third through. Kaizek Necro says, I'm surprised that the Hello Kitty TCG Player Bundle is still holding the 150 price point. If Gary holds out on the info, Pokebarn says, if Gary holds out on the info, next needs to be a video on Gary and Metazoo. What happened to him in the zoo? You might be the most popular Metazoo YouTuber at the moment. Well, that would be a huge honor, but the most popular out of like 3. So there's not very much competition right now. The community bond grows thicker as Metazoo burns. Iron Ghost says, thank you, Metazoo, for bringing us all together here today. Metazoo Bodybuilder Edition. We tried that. That was the only issue that I ever had with Mike. I've told that story already, though. Metazoo Discord is like feudal Japan. Unify us, Shogun. Gary says, Steve and I are talking about some TCG stuff we own together. He's trying to trade some of his Pokemon for some of my Metazoo. Bodybuilder would have to be a beastie giant. Nick might be saving Metazoo and making those. I will say this though, and again, I think a lot of it is because there's not very many other options right now because no one's making Metazoo content. Those last 3 or 4 videos, I think, are some of the most views I've seen on Metazoo related videos about anything in a very long time. Metazoo Menace says, Metazoo is like Asgard. It's not a place, it's people, and we are Metazoo. That's a fact. Gary says, 20 more and I'll drop you a world exclusive. Nice, Chibi Loveland Frogman. Shout out to my boy, Isaac Sky Lee. We all love the drama. It's human instinct. That's also very true. Pokebarn says they don't believe Gary. He's a huge troll. Bam Bam says, how many Karami boxes have you opened so far? Probably between 25 and 30, somewhere around there. About 50-50 between regular boxes and the TCG Player Bundle boxes. Thank you. I appreciate all these kind words, guys. I really do. Dr. Card says your videos are genuine and not forced. They are what and how people need. I appreciate that, man. I will say that's one of the things that's kept me involved in Metazoo is some of the positive response to those videos. As much as people say Metazoo is dead, the interest in Metazoo, when I read the comments on those videos, I mean, there's thousands of views and hundreds of comments. There's a lot of interest still left, albeit a lot of it is negative or drama driven. But there are people that are interested in what's going on with Metazoo. So the interest is still there. How many of those people are actually still buying and participating is probably pretty low. If Nick wasn't here, I would vent to my Metazoo Valentine's Day Mothman plushie that's still missing the holo card. Some people still haven't gotten their Valentine's Day Mothman plushies, from what I understand. The NFT version, at least. Reverse Chibi Salamander Queen. Love watching the videos. They're entertaining and fun. Thank you, Ru. Is Gary bullish or bearish? That's the $1 million question, says Kevin. Gary says, now Logan. Does Logan collect Metazoo? Thank you, Metazoo, man. I promised myself I wouldn't buy any Metazoo until I get my streamer kit, and it's been a few months now. Well, the good news for you, bro, is there's nothing new. there's nothing new to buy from Metazoo right now, so it shouldn't be that hard. Mothhawk says, "Let's pray Logan never collects Metazoo." Gary says, "I wish I knew what a troll was." Logan has a collection of Metazoo. Chatru says, "Man, I don't want Logan Paul in Metazoo." Cryptozoo, baby. All right, even if Gary doesn't drop any real secrets, if we do get to 100 likes, I will trade out this UFO box for a first edition Crypted Nation box, and we'll open that instead. So the stakes are a little bit higher. Thought Pokemon was like the art director too, the person that directs other people. Felipe says, Jesus collects Metazoo. Karami and My Melody. I got 2 Chrome hobby boxes I've been debating on opening, says Cheese. Do I have any Chrome? I guess not. Topps Chrome is so hard for me to keep sealed. I almost never have any ready to go. Gary says if Nick opens a Crypted Nation box, I'll announce it. Okay. We're at 99 likes. We just need one more like. And I'll do the Crypted Nation box. There we go. We're at 100. get a CN too. I will keep my word. We will open a Crypted Nation first edition box tonight after this Hello Kitty box. 106. There we go. 114. Holy shit. See, this is what makes me want to. This is what makes me want to stay in Metazoo. The community is still strong. It's like the company that's not. 120. It just doesn't stop. I do have one of every box still sealed, except for Kickstarter. So I don't know if there's any other boxes you guys would want to see, but I would think first edition is probably the one. Lordy Hot Dog says shitting on Metazoo brings us all together. Kevin says he's got a bounty on the secret rare moth, 1.5 thousand if anyone has one. Dude, I've been so curious. We've seen several people pull it. I think maybe close to 10 people have pulled the secret rare moth, but no one has sold it. I haven't seen one listed or sold on eBay. I don't know if they've been selling them in private or just holding on to them, but we haven't seen one go up for sale yet. We need Arnold riding a Mothman going into battle. Metazoo passed the moon just where Dingbell got stuck in someone's Uranus, says Iron Ghost. Buddy of mine got an offer for 2.5 thousand and turned it down. Really? Dr. Card says he sold his for $33.25. Metazoo Menace says, I've told this story before, but the first time I heard of Metazoo was King Pokemon opening a pack in his car. But when Nick opened it instead of Evolutions, I was hooked. Nice, bro. That would be another question I'd like to ask Mike, is what happened to the Arby's collab? Chitruse says 500 viewers and Metazoo fires Andy. We're We're at 100 and holy shit, we got 166 people watching this. The Metazoo community never ceases to surprise me. Loveland Frogman reverse. Gaming with Alex is convinced maybe we will still do the UFO box after the Crypted Nation box. But I will keep my promise. And we will open Crypted Nation next, first edition. Is there anything else you'd rather see than UFO? Any of the other sets? I've got everything. I've got Seance, Wilderness, UFO. I think this might have been maybe this was my only sealed Karami box. But I've got every other set sealed. Metazoo Menace wants Andy on a dunk tank. The line would break records. I'd like to see Legacy. I think we all would like to see Legacy. Metazoo shutting down their Discord and turning away the great community was... Yeah, I agree. I do have more native boxes. I think I've got 5 more boxes of native. I don't know how long I'm going to go, though. I mean, if the stream stays this busy, I'll stay live. Chibi Breakfast Aliens, Spookster. I mean, how great would it be if we pulled a secret rare from Karami tonight? Next goal is a case of Crypted Nation first edition. Dr. Card says, I sold my Mothman Secret Rare November 28th, so it was before all of this BS happened, though. I was going to say over $3,000 sounds pretty high. I mean, I believe you, but I definitely don't think... I could not believe that right now that card would sell for over $3,000. There's just no way. Bam Bam says, don't worry, everyone. Metazoo is also working on a really cool super secret collab right now, too. Dr. Cards, if the price is right, yes. I actually don't have... That's one thing that I've wanted to add to my collection that I haven't added. I don't have any uncut sheets of Metazoo. Oh, but it's reverse. Is it reverse hollow and hollows? Did you see the Collecticon advertising on their site? It has like no Metazoo on it. Well, I think Metazoo, well, are they not doing any Collecticons this year? Chris says it's like an unofficial Metazoo convention. I'm going to miss conventions. Shout out to Chris, man. I've still got his Revive Mothman board. That's probably going to be in every video going forward on this channel. It's his Nightfall Revive Mothman artwork in the background. Mike needs to contact that Miami 10-foot alien to have him sponsor a UFO box, too. Yeah, Dr. Cards, if you send me pictures on Instagram, I'll get back to you on there. From that second Kickstarter, I did have an uncut sheet, but it wasn't the good one. It was like the playing cards, and I don't remember if it was even hollow. It was like just shiny, but not hollow. I ended up selling it for like a couple $100, but I regretted not getting the uncut sheet of like the regular Metazoo cards. Like the playable cards. Pokebarn says he still doesn't believe Gary. Tundra says, can you show your Revive boards? I could take you guys with me when I go to get, because I got to go get the first edition box. It's in the other room. As long as we don't lose connection when I go over there, I guess is the only thing. A lot of people are stoked to see Chris in the chat. A lot of support. Love to see it. Not a full house tour, but in the hallway outside of this room going to the other room, I have all the Revive boards set up. Did you buy anything from Argos? Yeah, from his eBay auction, I bought the PSA 10 Mothman Festival promo from 2023, and I also bought the art set of native boxes. Imagine pulling a red ink on this stream. That would be cool. Iron Ghost says, commissioned Chris back in the early days for a 6 sketch. You're the man, Chris. What's the Insta name? Let me pull it up for you. It's Nick Strength and Pokemon. Well, I've got like 3 Instagrams, but I'll have to look at the exact name of the Pokemon one. Damn, my screen is dirty as hell. It's still dirty. Nick's Strength and Pokemon, so fully spelled out. That's the Instagram. Greasy ass screen. Is there any footage of people pulling old scratch? I believe there is, yeah. Will you do any other TCG Kickstarter? Like, will I participate in them? Probably not. Carnival Lights, Full Hollow. What is the poll at right now? Let's see. I'm curious. Wow, 220 individual votes on that poll. Do you think Metazoo will make it? It's currently at 58% no and 42% yes. I think I'm going to keep that poll up the entire stream. See how high it ends up going. Nick, have you pulled or purchased a Green Man yet? No to both questions. I have not. Awesome, Dr. Cards. It's been consistently 56 to 58% now. In the very beginning, I thought it was going to be close because it was like there's like 50 votes in, and it was like 51-49, but now it's starting to take a lead for the nose. All right. Keep the chat going, as promised. I got to pee, too, so let me pee first, and I got to get the first edition box. And maybe I'll grab some other stuff to open, too. I'll see what I've got in my case. Actually, let me pee, and I'll see if I can I'll just take you guys with me to the room with the other shit in it. Let me just make sure there's nothing you shouldn't see on the way when I go pee first. So give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, I think I can take you guys with me. You just got to bear with me if the connection gets worse. It might buffer or whatever. because my router is in this room. So as we go to the other room, the connection might get bad, but this is the rest of the office here. But just bear with me if it starts to slow down on the stream. There's beans. All right, here's the Revive boards. My house is a little messy though, so just bear with me. There's the Revive collection. Beans' toys are all over the floor here, so just bear with me. Let's see what we got in here. All right, so first edition box. Where is first edition? That's second. Oh wait, first edition's right here. Okay, there's first edition. Anything else you got? Let's see. We'll start with first edition and go from there. Here's the other collection room. This is my second office right here. I've got some shipping stuff on the other side of the room, so I won't show the whole room. People's addresses and stuff. There's beans. Is the connection still good? And everything down here is a mess. I got my sauna back there, my TV, the staircase. Santa Bear. And back here, I've got my library, my home gym and stuff is back here. So there's all that. But okay, we secured the goods. The Mothman, Brian Garcia Mothman here. Metazoo is dead, so even a thief wouldn't grab those when they break in. There's some of the other Metazoo cases. All right. We'll take you guys back around. There's Chris Campman's board back there. Mike Waddell just said if Nick pulls a red ink, he'll fire Andy. Me and Schwarzenegger up there. All right. Okie dokie. Holy shit, the views went up. We're at 181. Where's Gary at? Gary's got to reveal his secrets here. Let me plug the phone back in. All right, so you guys got I think that's the first and only. Gary says after he opens one pack. All right. I think it's the first and only tour of my house I've ever done on any channel. All right. Let me get a pair of scissors real quick. I always forget how difficult first edition is to open. There we go. Pokebarn is losing faith in Gary. Which, damn, we got 168 still watching, almost 130 likes. Everyone is asking, is there any Metazoo staff watching? Gary wants me to open one pack. Love when Nick is single because he spends much more time with us. I am talking to a girl right now, I should say, but she lives in Chicago, so like 6 hours away. So I've got a lot of free time here to open trading cards and talk to you guys. We're gonna save the box top. Oh, I thought there was two for a second. We'll save the box topper for last. And just for Gary, we'll even start out with the Mothman pack. The connection's good? Okay. Don't do it, Nick. She just wants your Metazoo. There's such a difference in the finish of these first edition cards and the Hello Kitty. These are so much like glossier. Full Hollow Earth's Core. So we're starting out with a Full Hollow first edition. Are you guys joking about the connection? Is it bad or is it good? Are you being sarcastic that it's a good connection? That's why I never have taken the camera out of this room because I don't want to like fuck up the stream. Okay. Connection is good. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I just wanted to make sure. That's definitely a repacked box. Why do you say that? Little laggy. Okay. Wait, what did Gary say? Metazoo and I will be featured on the new season of Pawn Stars. Plus, there will be a very special expert brought on to authenticate. So I'm guessing Gary's the expert. Reverse lightning glass. Oh yeah, Chum Lee is a Metazoo guy, isn't he? He's gone to a couple of the Collecticons, hasn't he? That is a decent announcement. What was the other scoop? You said there was two. The other was that Aoki was still involved. Full Hollow Black Hole Shard. So at least we're off to a decent start with this box. Why does everyone keep saying Gary is trolling? Do you really think he's trolling? What state am I in? I'm in Ohio. Atlanta says, I wish I could be more optimistic for you guys, but it isn't looking good. And we are currently sitting at 244 votes on the Do You Think Metazoo Will Make It poll. And it's getting even worse. 41% yes to 59% no. There's a lot of Metazoo fans in the Midwest, in Ohio specifically. No, not Columbus. Ohio specifically. Nice, Power Up Red. Ohio specifically seems to have a lot of Metazoo people. I think this is going to end up being a good box. I live on like the outskirts of Cincinnati. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, no way. Gary, you lived in Pickerington? I have family that lives in Pickerington right now, and they went to Pickerington High School. My cousins did, and their aunt and uncle, or my aunt and uncle still live there. I was actually just in Pickerington for Christmas. JH says, I love the Metazoo content you've been putting out. Definitely the best Metazoo. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. I really do appreciate you guys. Middle of nowhere is the best place to be. Yeah, I was just in Pickerington last month at their house. Medium's third eye. It's the fact that Metazoo is going mainstream and will be new to some new players and or collectors. Pokebarn says Pawn Stars is the lamest news I've ever heard. No problem, Treasure Hunt. Treasure Hunt says, thanks for posting the clarification on why the artist left. Now we can stop wondering. And I want to be clear, that's a big part of why they reached out to me to make that video. They wanted you guys to know. They were encouraged by Andy, again, they were encouraged a couple of things. They said while they were working there, especially, they were encouraged not to participate or comment in chats or on Metazoo videos or participate in live streams. But they're watching. They see what's going on, and they saw that a lot of you guys have been wondering what the real reason was. And that was a big reason why they wanted to get that out there. Full Hollow Ghost Train. Nice. Do you like making content for this channel or your bodybuilding one more? I'm enjoying this one more right now, to be completely honest with you guys. Because for me, this channel, the stakes are a little bit lower. There's a lot less money involved with this one, so I can really just make whatever videos I enjoy or think are fun. Not necessarily going to get a ton of views, but if I want to make a video about something, I just make it. It doesn't really matter if it makes any money or not. Gary says he put up the money for a collectible store in Pickerington in 2002. He lived there from 2002 to 2004. Are you originally from Ohio, Gary? And you live in Vegas now, don't you? Hobby channel versus career channel, for sure. Maybe you can become the TCG investigative reporter, getting the scoop from all the former employees, all the TCGs. Oh, you're originally from Los Angeles. Cool. Well, I'm waiting to see what the initial reaction is going to be. If Metazoo does respond to that artist video. Okay, there's a reverse black hole shard. Because like I've said, I've been doing this for 12 years, this type of video on my main channel. I've been talking about things where people want to stay anonymous. I've been talking about things that impact companies. I've been talking about things that impact businesses and breaking stories. There's often a lot of hurt feelings. And it can go one of two ways. They can get really upset and butthurt, and they could reach out and threaten to sue me, which they really can't. There's really no ground for that. But I've seen that 100 times on my main channel. There's probably been 100 people that have threatened to sue me. Not a single one ever actually did, because they all realized they never had a case. So it could go one of two ways with Metazoo. They could see that video. Andy could get his feelings hurt. His ego could be hurt. And he would reach out and threaten me. Or it could go the opposite direction, and they acknowledge that video and come out with a statement, maybe apologizing. Maybe Mike does an interview with me. Maybe they explain some things. I think probably the nail in the coffin, to be completely honest, I think the nail in the Metazoo coffin would be if they threatened me in any way because of that video. For one, it's not going to do them any good because it just wouldn't matter to me. But for two, I'd probably be out at that point. That would probably be what that would be what takes me out of Metazoo. And I think the community would see that. And that's like the worst response they could possibly have to that situation. Put some respect on my name. No, to be clear, I don't think they would actually ever sue me. But I think somebody like Andy might feel that way and like threaten that. And like I said, I've seen it 100 times on my other channel. I've been threatened to be sued by some of the biggest supplement companies on the planet, and they all realize at the end of the day they can't do it because of however I presented whatever it was not in a defamatory way or anything like that. Companies a lot bigger than Metazoo. $100 million a year revenue companies that have been around for years. It's just one item, so hopefully it won't sell. I wonder, is it like the prototype Mothman or something, Gary? Cactus Cat. Star North says, please don't let Andy on Pawn Stars, Gary. Gary, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Andy specifically? I think we've all expressed different opinions on Mike. And honestly, frankly, I still don't have that negative of an opinion on Mike. I really think he's genuinely passionate about Metazoo. You have to throw in a lot of I think, I feel, in my opinion, what I heard statements. That's a fact. And like I said, a big part of any defamation situation is malicious intent. And like I keep saying repeatedly, I don't want Metazoo to fail. I don't want to hurt Metazoo. I want them to see these criticisms and correct these things so they can do better and they can be successful and they can deliver on things that people want to see. They can treat their employees better. They can run their company better. The community will be happier with them. That is the goal with these criticisms. So with any type of defamation thing, you kind of have to prove also that your intent is to harm the company, and that's not mine. And I've made that pretty clear. Yes, Phantom Knight. Oh, was that a Jersey Devil or a Mothman? Guess it was a Jersey. There we go. Full hollow Jersey Devil. Nice. Argos is definitely the backbone of Metazoo. I've seen a lot of negativity towards Argos over the course of this stream. But Argos has really carried Metazoo on his back for a long time. Treasure Hunt says toxic positivity is such a turnoff. Are you talking about Argos? Argos is basically the face of what's left of Metazoo's art. I agree with that. Why does this stream feel like a Metazoo canon event? I will say, we've still got 164 people watching this stream. If anybody from Metazoo is watching, I would really, really like to do an interview with Mike on this channel where we could talk about some of these topics and ask some harder questions. Like I said, no gotcha questions, not a bad faith interview, but like all these things that the community, you can see in this chat right now. This is 163 people. This is a lot of what's left of the Metazoo community, but a lot of these concerns and a lot of these things they're saying, if we could ask that directly to Mike and give an authentic, genuine answer from Mike, I think if those answers were kind of satisfactory, it would go a long way with the community than just deafening silence. Me and Argos talked about this. We said this on the last stream. I would be super open to doing a weekly podcast where it's me and Argos. Because I feel like that's what you want in a podcast. You don't want two people that are necessarily going to agree on everything. So for some things that Argos might be positive on, I'll be negative on. And that's what makes a podcast good. You don't want two people that feel the same way about everything. And Argos said he would be down. Maybe not now, because we talked about this before this week. And this week, I feel like I've kind of stirred up a little bit of commotion here with Metazoo. Oh, nice. Loveland Frog Boy. Very nice. Get in there. I don't see a print line on this bad boy. This might be going to PSA. Weekly or monthly, it doesn't matter to me. Especially right now, there's not a whole lot going on in Metazoo, so monthly might be more appropriate. There's really nothing to talk about on a weekly basis. Thanks, Nick, for being the voice for others. Thank you for saying that. Bi-weekly, nice. Maybe you could do it with him. King Pokemon says, I've known Andy as a collector friend for a decade. Really? Do you know who Metakai is? I've heard the name. I'm not super familiar though. I think I've seen him before. I'm just not super familiar. And by the way, I did check my DMs when I went to pee earlier. And I think my next video probably will be either an interview with the players that have not been paid or some kind of video relating to that. That'll probably be the next one. What did Andy do exactly again? I would encourage anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about to just watch the artist video, the last video on this channel. Because again, I don't have any firsthand knowledge of whatever happened with Andy. All I have is the account of the artists that have the firsthand experience with Andy. So I can't sit here and claim to say Andy did or didn't do X, Y, and Z. I can only say what I've been told from people who did have that firsthand experience. Like I said, I've never met him. I've never talked to him. I've never had any experience with Andy. So I can't sit here and say what happened. I can say what I heard happened and what I was told happened and what I've been shown receipts for. But I think probably the next important piece of this saga, if it's not an interview with Mike, would probably be a really in-depth follow-up on players that have not been paid. And I'm looking into now the 2022 fan art competition. A lot of people have been messaging me about that the artists that won that fan art competition haven't received what they were supposed to get or something to that effect. I'm still looking into that. You guys are welcome to have whatever opinion you want to have of Argos in the chat. I just want to say for the record, I really like Argos. I think that what he's done for Metazoo is huge. And whether you guys think he's overly positive or doesn't address some of these more negative things, I think that Argos is a very critical component of what's left of Metazoo right now. And I think at the end of the day, whether you agree or disagree with the way that he approaches these topics, Argos, I think, is one of the most important people right now in keeping Metazoo alive. So even if you might think he's too positive about some things or not critical enough about others, I really think that the role that Argo serves is a very important one. And honestly, if I were to stop making Metazoo videos, he's the only one left. He would be the backbone of the online Metazoo community. He would be the only guy holding this whole thing up. Everyone else is gone. Before I started making Metazoo content, I watched all the other Metazoo content creators. There were hundreds of them at one point. Then there were dozens. Then there was like me and Argos. And everybody that I used to watch, like I would watch these guys daily and weekly. Every video they would upload, I would watch every single one because I was hungry for Metazoo content, and they're all gone. There's nobody left. Joint Snake. Yeah, Cardboard and Coffee. I used to watch him all the time. I used to watch Ted's Basement. I used to watch Frankly Collecting before he kind of got really weird and negative towards I'm not going to talk badly about any creator, but Mothhawk, even when he started uploading a lot more recently, I started watching a lot of his stuff. I watched Epic Tube. I watched a lot of that. He's gone now. He announced he was leaving, I think, at the end of 2023. I mean, anyone you can think of. Pikachu says he wants to throw hands with Argos and Rudy. Metazoo community was the best, still is the best. I think a lot of these people are still around. Like I see some of the people that I used to watch, I see them pop up in the chat sometimes, and sometimes on Instagram I'll still see them post a Metazoo card. I see Umu's videos too, but I don't think I feel like sometimes he's not being genuine. I think he's like being satirical. I think Metazoo is like a joke to him, and he jokingly talks about it. I really think a lot of the stuff he says isn't serious. I do watch most of his videos, but sometimes I feel like I've got nothing. I'm not going to say anything negative about him. I do watch a lot of his videos, but sometimes I don't think he genuinely cares what happens to Metazoo or has any. It doesn't matter to him what happens. I've never seen a single video from Bailey. Because and the other thing with Umu is the thing he always says is I don't own a single Metazoo card, and I'm the biggest Metazoo content creator. So for that reason, he named the podcast "May the Zoo Be With You." And I think Tormentic still makes videos, right? I watch some of his stuff from time to time. Holy shit, we've still got 182 people watching. Pete Dorr TCG, he used to watch, or I'm sorry, he used to make a lot of Metazoo content. This is a really solid box. I don't even think we're halfway through, and we've hit mostly full hollows. the Metazoo refugees in my chat right now. And so far, these hollows have looked pretty solid. I'm not seeing print lines on these better hits. Yeah, Meta Bros, they were big. I didn't watch them as much because I never played the game, but they were big on the player base side. Pete Doris says I stopped making Metazoo videos when they went silent on the native streamer kits, among other things. Yeah, Tormentic tells like the stories of a lot of the cryptids, and he's like the lore keeper. How did Dr. Applesauce get out of Metazoo? I have no idea. I never really watched his stuff. I think I saw a couple of his Funko Pop videos. I didn't really watch his Metazoo stuff as much, honestly. Dude, full hollow Sam Sinclair. No print line. Mike will be the expert called in on the Pawn Stars episode, says Gary. This is a solid box, dude. We pulled Frogman, Sam Sinclair, multiple hollows. And I think it looks like we're only like halfway through. There's still a good amount of packs in here. Why don't you send to BGS, Nick? I just haven't had great experience with BGS in the past. And honestly, I like the way that Metazoo cards, especially the red bordered playable cards, look in PSA slabs a lot better than any of the other slabs. And I mostly grade Metazoo these days because my Pokemon collection, my Yu-Gi-Oh collection, I've pretty much completed a lot of the stuff that I want from those vintage sets. The only thing that I'm actively still really grading new cards with is Metazoo. Even though right now it's maybe not even worth grading some of these newer sets. You ought to open one of every booster box tonight. Pete Dorr really wants me to open some sorcery. I might. I see you say that every stream that I see you, and you're making me consider it. Another full hollow, this time Phoenix Rain. I know there's always a lot of sorcery fans in the chat. Look at all these guys. This is the death of Metazoo here tonight, says Kevin Clear. Did we clarify what exactly happened in the Discord tonight? What is the event tonight that everyone's so... Did something happen that I don't know about? Good funeral attendance. Ah, there's a reverse. Tisseruk. Ooh, nice, bro. Vintage Godzilla card from Japan. I like the sound of that. Nothing happened. That's the problem. Gary and Pokebarn are going to war in the chat right now. Real Prince Metazoo says, I'll make a video and get you all caught up on the last year and what's going on now. Too much guessing. This does give me the vibe. Another full hollow, Metal Man of Alabama. All these people in this chat and this volume of people watching, this does give me a vibe of like this is the last hurrah for Metazoo. Like we're all coming together after all this bad news and it's over. Like this is the funeral kind of. I would like to be optimistic and hope that a year or two from now, we look back at this stream and say this wasn't the funeral, this was the turning point for some major change. That'll be the positive spin that I'll put on it. But I think the odds are it could very likely also be the funeral. Community is grieving. This is the last stand, the Metazoo 181. An upside down black cat. What? Nick, you have to start doing PSA graded Metazoo blind boxes. Dude, I have so many like PSA 9s and then some of the lower grade stuff from Metazoo. Like my safe, my bigger safe that you guys saw is just full of slabs. 9s and 8s of cards that just, they're not even worth selling right now. They're not going to go for more than a couple bucks. So if Metazoo ever does turn around at this point, I'm just going to hold on to a lot of those slabs. Real Prince Metazoo says Mike and Andy should be gone in the next couple months, and Metazoo will be in the hands of people who can fulfill the needs of the business community. Sale pending. Who is Prince Metazoo again? Metazoo is going to do a 360 starting tonight. You get so many Metazoo PSA graded cards. It's not a bad idea. Hold the wall. We are the Night's Watch. Another full hollow ghost train. Nice. 360, we're in the same direction. Yeah, 180 would be a turn in the other direction. You guys are going to hate me, but honestly, I got to pee again really quick. Give me like 60 seconds. I've drank like 3 water bottles since we've been sitting here. And I might go grab another box. I'm thinking maybe a second edition box, but I do have all these UFO boxes. All right, I think that was less than 60 seconds. I think we made it. I think probably the best decision that I made when I bought this house and I was setting this house up was to make the office the room that had a bathroom that you could just walk right into. But man, this is why I could never be a streamer. Thank you, Gary. So let's show Nick some love, like and subscribe. I appreciate you, Gary. But yeah, this is why I could never be a streamer. Every time I do a stream that goes longer than like an hour, I've got to pee like every 30 minutes. Once I break the seal, it's game over. What? You heard it, you said? Holy shit, we've still got 183 people in here watching. Blood Ruby full hollow. We need to see a Mothman in this box, dude. 145 likes. This might end up being one of the best Metazoo streams we've done. I may be sipping on something besides water, but I have been honestly drinking a lot of water while we've been sitting here. I may have got a little tequila in here. But I've been trying to balance it out because I've been drinking a lot of water bottles. And today I did an hour. I did a whole hour in the sauna. I typically only do half an hour, so I was pretty dehydrated afterwards. And it's if you guys have never done it, it's a terrible idea to drink alcohol after a long sauna session like that. So I've been trying to rehydrate a little bit because I was really pushing it in the sauna today. Sinkhole Sam reverse. Did you look into heavenly heat saunas at all when doing your research? Actually, the sauna that I got a sponsorship on my main channel from a sauna company, and they came and installed a sauna for free, just in exchange for me to talk about it in a couple videos. Treasure said, I've got to bounce. Just wanted to pop in and say thank you for the great coverage. Best community. Y'all have a good night. Have a good night, Treasure. Thank you for stopping by. Full Hall of Growth. Why are you maxing out on the sauna, bro? Honestly, I slept really weird last night. And as many health benefits as they say the sauna has, I woke up with my back really hurt. I slept on it weird. And the main thing that I really noticed a difference from with the sauna is like really relieving muscle pain. So I stayed in there a little bit extra long today, cooked myself a little bit more, because I woke up with my back just cranked. But there was a study done for men that used the sauna more than 4 times a week. There was a 40% decrease in all-cause mortality. And I believe we established the last stream, this was the Finland study. So that's why I initially got it. And so far, I'm still alive, so far that's been true. But the biggest tangible thing that I noticed from using the sauna is if you've got muscle pain, it really does help tremendously. I appreciate you, Gary. Gary says, I love watching Nick. I appreciate that. And to be completely honest, Gary might have been the first person that I saw talk about Metazoo. That might have been the reason that I bought Crypted Nation First Edition. Because Gary was a very early adopter. And I know that when I saw Metazoo for the first time, it was a YouTube video. And it very possibly could have been Gary. How many packs we got left? We got to get a Mothman out of this box. I think I'm still going to end up doing that UFO box back there because I believe it was Alex that kept saying he's convinced there's a secret rare in that UFO box. And he's got me believing it. Slide Rock Bolter, full hollow. Gary was pre-Kickstarter. And the stream has stayed pretty strong this entire time, so I might just keep going. Isaac, what's up, bro, man? Thanks for yesterday's video. I hope it doesn't get overlooked. I don't think it's getting overlooked. I think the amount of people that you see in this chat right now are largely a result of that video. Another full hollow growth. I really hope we get a moth out of here. So the poll is almost at 300 votes. Do you think Metazoo will make it? We're at 41% yes and 59% no, unfortunately. But still, not completely, not a blowout. There's still some people that have faith. Yeah, give Isaac some love in the chat. Isaac Sky Lee, one of the Metazoo artists that left with those 7. Ah, reverse hollow, medium's third eye. Pete Dorr says, you should make a video showing what you do with your Metazoo. It almost feels disrespectful what I do with my bulk. I told you guys, man, I live out in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. I've got acres of land here, so of course I've got a big old bonfire fire pit. And when Metazoo really started to take a dive, anything that was just a common card, a non-hollow, I try not to burn reverse hollows, but anything that was a common, because I would end up having just big, like 12 by 12 boxes piled up, filled with bulk. And now it seems like on a weekly basis, when I have my bonfire at the end of the week, I just stack those boxes of bulk up and I dump some lighter fluid on them. And I just let it burn. It feels disrespectful, but at a certain point, it's not even worth the money that you would get for it to ship it out. And it takes up so much space that eventually you just got to get rid of it. I mean, if you open enough boxes, that bulk ends up taking up a lot of space. And especially on a night, like some of those bigger nights where I'll open like a whole case and I'll open 12 boxes. The amount of bulk that I have, I don't have anywhere to go with it. I don't want to just throw it in my closet. I'll take care, Gary. Are you heading out? Good night, bro. And thanks for stopping by. And also, Chris Campman is still in the chat, another legendary Metazoo artist. So show Chris some love, too. Zach, that's a good question. And I actually have been rejected by Goodwill with Pokemon bulk and empty Pokemon tins. They said, we don't want that. We don't want to have to sort through it. So I have been rejected on more than one occasion. So I stopped even going to the effort of going to Goodwill with the bulk just to get rejected and then have to take it back home. So now the easiest thing to do is just burn it. I be lurking still. And Goodwill sucks now anyway. Goodwill used to be a place where people that were lower income could go to get really reasonably priced things. But now that Goodwill has these basically auction sites like eBay, all the good stuff that they get goes on the auction site, and all the junk and shit that nobody wants goes in the store. So the people that really need it, which was the original intent of Goodwill, is to help people out, they don't get any of the good stuff. It goes online, and that money goes right in the pockets of the executives at Goodwill. It goes to their bottom line. So I don't like to support Goodwill anyway. Ever since they launched those online sites, if you go to a Goodwill, they don't have anything good there anymore. Everything good goes straight to the website. If you want like a broken vase or a stained t-shirt, then you can probably get one in a Goodwill. But anything better than that, it's going on their website. What's up, Shaman? Still remember like yesterday, all those dinged Crypted Nation boxes, seen them damaged firsthand. But love the ding bell card they gave it out for damage shipping. Yeah. All right. We got 2 packs left, and we still have the box topper. I'm going to keep going, honestly. I want to do this UFO box. I might let you guys pick another box after that because the chat's not going anywhere. This has been a pretty strong stream, and it's really not dipped. We still got 161 watching. I might just keep going as long as you guys want to watch. Everybody seems to have a lot to say, and I'm here for it. So we'll do these 2 more packs for first edition. Then we'll get on to the UFO. What's up, Kobe? And then we'll do the box topper, too. Let me go back through these hits and make sure I didn't miss anything. So we did get the Frogman. I'm here to say a lot, says Kobe. Let's see. Pokey Kobe is like a true OG of like the 2020 COVID era of Pokemon. Some legendary streams happened on Kobe's channel in that era. And I'm sure a lot of you guys in the chat right now were probably a part of that. Soccer Kills, bro. Thank you for the donation, $1.49. You didn't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. Greg, for old time's sake, donating a glizzy. $1.49 Canadian glizzy. I haven't seen a glizzy in a chat in a long time. All right, 2 packs left. Hopefully we can get a Mothman out of this, and then we'll get to some other boxes. And we'll keep going as long as you guys want to, man. As long as those numbers stay up, we'll keep going. Almost 150 likes, too. Another full hollow Blood Ruby, not bad. Overall, the full hollow pull rate on this box is pretty fucking solid. But this is definitely a stream that's given me the old school Pokemon Peak vibes, where the chat is going nonstop and everybody's excited. Last pack magic, then we'll get to the nice. That's a nice, not a Mothman, but to end on a Chaos Crystal. I actually still don't have a PSA 10 Chaos Crystal from first edition in my collection. That's a nice way to end it. But we're not ending the stream. We're going to do some more stuff here. So Alex in the chat kept saying he's convinced in this UFO box back here there's going to be a secret rare. So I keep seeing him say that, and now I can't not open it. So I've got to open that, and we still got to do this box topper. Could you imagine if we pulled a red ink out of here right now? All right. Sell me the first edition Crypted Nation box with that 140 all day. Is that what they're going for now? A lightning aura. So not a red ink. I didn't expect one anyway. All right, UFO box. I think I'm gonna grab another box in addition to this. Let me see, maybe another native box. We'll see. Let me see what I've got. I'll check my safe too and see if we have another box. Just keep the chat going. Stay tuned. I want to check and see what else I have. All right. I think I'm going to decide on. We're also going to add Nightfall to the equation. I think we'll do this Topps Series 0 too. Just to mix it up a little bit. I think it's really been quite some time, honestly, since we've opened Nightfall. It's been a really long time since we've opened Nightfall on this channel. Maybe we'll pull an old scratch. Kobe, I appreciate that, man. $50 Canadian. Jesus, bro. Thanks for all the love over the years, Nick. Keep crushing it. Nick always been genuine. Put on a show ever since we first met. One night, spent $3,000 on Evolutions packs for his birthday. Prime D-Gen 2020 time, bro. Facts. I appreciate that, bro. And I'm sure eventually I'm gonna get back into opening Evolutions, but right now, man, it's still going for like 600, 700 a box, and there's just like the value is just not there. When you open a box of Evolutions, it cuts the value into like a fourth, unless you get a PSA 10 for the OG Charizard. But Evolutions right now is really just not worth opening. All right, so this UFO box, deemed by the chat as a very lucky box. PokeRev ruined Evolutions? How? How so? All right. Hopefully there's something in this UFO box. 151 is hot, though, and so much fun. That's my new Evolutions today. Once I pulled that 151 Charizard, that was pretty much all I needed out of that. I was satisfied with that. Oh, Seb's here. What's up, Seb? Did I miss Seb's comment? Let me look and see. Another one of the fantastic Metazoo artists. I gotta scroll up here. I missed a lot of comments here. A lot of people saying Nightfall. Okay, so I made a good call grabbing the Nightfall. I don't see Seb's comment. Unless I just don't know what Seb's username is. Oh, the all-powerful Seb, of course. Good shit on the recent video, man. Doing the Lord's work. I appreciate you, Seb. I don't know how I missed that. Guys, thank you, CCTV. 50 bucks, dude. You guys do not have to donate. I appreciate you guys just being here and participating in the chat. But CCTV says, thanks, Nick. New to your channel, but subscribed, and I'm here to stay. Appreciate what you do. Hankai Hill Energy CCTV is my burner name. I appreciate you, bro. You guys do not have to donate, but that really means a lot to me that you would take the time to do that. Reverse holo. Not the way we want to start out a UFO box, but essentially CCTV and Kobe just bought us like 4 more boxes of UFO if we wanted to buy more. So like $20 boxes right now. So this has been a really good stream. We've had King Pokemon, Gary in here. We've had 3 or 4 of the artists in here. Kobe's in here, a Pokemon legend. Don't hurt yourself on the name. Hank Hill. I thought it was like some anime thing. I was like, Hank High Energy. I was thinking it was like some anime thing. Kobe says, what are the top 5 all-time dead or alive Metazoo cards? I want you guys to answer that in the chat. What do you guys think? But thank you again, Kobe and CCTV, and also Greg donating a glizzy earlier. I would say Old Scratch probably is in that top 5, yeah. I don't know about the golden ticket anymore though, because didn't the last golden ticket sell for $8,000? I don't know if that would put it in the top 5. Well, then again, what is Old Scratch going for? Full hollow opalescent moss. Mothhawk says Hero Quest Piazza. That is a sick card. I still don't even think I have a Hero Quest Piazza to this day. Kevin says Old Scratch, red ink, blue ink. That's it. I think I would throw my 1/1 Mothman into that mix, or any of the 1/1 Mothmen potentially from Topps Chrome. I think they're in that realm. Even though I do think another mistake that Metazoo made was with Topps Chrome in those 1/1s, having 3 different 1/1s of Mothman, and really every character that had a Cryptid Cam as well, made it not really a 1/1. It's a 1/3 that are 1/1. Reverse hollow giant space brains. I'm trying to look through these cards and see, maybe take a little bit more time. There's a card by Isaac, since we've got these artists in the chat. There's Seb right there. Eye for an eye. Shout out to Lily too. I actually just commissioned something from Lily. Lily did this card. The biggest mistake Metazoo made with Topps was not selling when Topps made the offer. This is Real Prince Metazoo. Topps made an offer to buy Metazoo? Balloon Fight, unfortunately not. I'm very, very bad at keeping Topps sealed. I really love opening Metazoo Topps Chrome. I think it's one of the best products they ever came out with, and I just have a very hard time keeping it sealed. I do have this though. Series 0. I'm having Lily do a really special project for me, actually. The blank... I pulled a blank Metazoo card from Wilderness, so it has nothing on the front. The front is just a blank white sheet, and the back has a Metazoo back. And I'm having Lily do a custom piece for the front. Isaac, didn't you do a version of the Sky Snake? Full hollow, drowned sea orb. I feel like the text on UFO is so much smaller too. It's harder to read. Or I'm just getting old. Oh, your cat's name is Lily, and she keeps hearing me say Lily. Lily. Lily cat. How can we get commissions from artists in the stream? I think most of them have their own websites, but I think if you message them on like Instagram or whatever and tell them what your idea is, they'll get back to you. Yeah, there were prizes. There were like rewards. Those tickets that you could pull from Wilderness were redeemable. I still don't think to this day we know exactly what you could get for all of them. But I think the only one that has not been pulled, to my knowledge, I have not seen anybody pull a silver ticket. I think that there have been 2 golds pulled and 1 bronze. Three golds pulled, says Jethro. Chris Campman says he did a version of Hidden Templars slaughtering a sky snake for a print. Nice. What is your favorite Metazoo set to open? My favorite core set is probably Crypted Nation First Edition. Although I really enjoyed Nightfall at the time. When Nightfall came out for that first Halloween of Metazoo, I really enjoyed the theme of Nightfall kind of coinciding with Halloween, and that was a really fun opening for me. I'd say Nightfall and Crypted Nation, but outside of a core set, Topps Chrome is probably my hands down favorite. Topps Chrome was just fun as hell to open. I mean, you really couldn't beat it. Silver was for the prototype moth. She says bronze was a Kickstarter box, silver was the prototype moth, and gold is supposed to be some stock. That must be why the gold ticket only sold for $8,000. I don't think anybody really is looking for stock in Metazoo right now. This is one of my favorite cards from UFO, actually. Oh, this was actually done by Lily. But I always really liked this card. It's not really worth really anything, but I always really liked this character. I just thought this always looked really cool. The first time I opened UFO, I thought the Loveland Rocket was a really cool looking card. Hey Nick, outside of serialized cards and promos, how close are you to a complete Metazoo collection? I'm not very close at all. I only collect very specific things. Before I started selling a lot of stuff, I used to grade like all the holos from every set. And I had like a really big PSA 10 collection of like UFO and wilderness cards. I'd say now the majority of my Metazoo collection is very specifically Mothman and Frogman. And then I've got like a handful of holos in a PSA 10 from every set, but not every holo. I used to have basically every holo, or at least every major holo hit from every core set in a PSA 10. But I sold a lot of those. Like from Wilderness, I held on to like Bigfoot, Awful, Okanto Falls Dragon, Snipe. I think from Seance, I only ended up holding on to Chains of Old Scratch and Satanic Panic in a PSA 10. And then like UFO, I think I kept UFO, Van Meter Visitor, Flatwoods Monster in a PSA 10, and I think Houston Batman maybe. But I used to have like every one, another Houston Batman. I used to have like all of them, but I ended up selling a lot of them and just spending that money on more rare Mothman or Frogman cards. We now have, that's a lot of votes, man. 325 votes on do you think Metazoo will make it? And we're still at 59% no and 41% yes. Glistening beach rock. Man, it is really hard to read these cards. Lyle says, do you think Rudy would buy Metazoo and turn it around? Probably not. He has said that he wishes he had ownership of it looking back. Man, every time I complete my sealed collection of Metazoo boxes, like I've had this collection sitting for a while, one of each box, I always end up opening it and just buying new ones. And then every time I buy new ones, the price has gone down, so it's even cheaper to buy the new one, and I got the fun of opening the boxes that I had sealed. Philip B says, what's up, man? I just wanted to say I love Loveland Frogman. Well, I guess we're on the same page, bro. Thanks for stopping by. I think Argos is the only one that truly loves it and would care for it as best he could. I really agree with that. Philip says, playing some Halo now. Been taking a break buying Metazoo, but I hope it pulls through in a better direction. We're on the same page, bro. I really do hope that Metazoo is eventually able to turn things around. Static Snowstone. Any desire to own an old scratch? Of course. Hopefully we can pull one from this Nightfall box tonight. I don't think I would buy one, though. I think the price is still too high right now. I think it might come down even more. Gunmetal Poppy says, I love UFO. I think the ship for Argos to join Metazoo has sailed. Once he opens his coffee card candy shop, he'll be too busy to be involved, says Pete Dorr. Perhaps. I tend to think that if Argos had wanted to be an investor or a part owner or whatever, he already would have done that. So I think for whatever reason, he probably had the opportunity, but for whatever reason chose not to. Prince Metazoo says he got in too late in the game. Metazoo Menace says it's crazy how popular Loveland Frogman is, but still light years away in value from Mothman. Mewtwo and Blastoise know the feeling. I guess that is kind of true, right? The Loveland Frogman is kind of the Blastoise of Metazoo, right? Plastic Man says they rejected Argos' request to be an investor. The only good thing about the excessive print runs of Wilderness and UFO is they are a cheap rip to try to pull a secret rare. Yeah, so that is true. But if you don't, that's the problem though, is they're so cheap that if you don't pull a secret rare, they're literally just not even worth opening. Shout out to Zach and Chris, yeah. I'm actually surprised Chris isn't in here tonight. Another Houston Batman. Got a decent rate of full hollows here. Why did the Hello Kitty collab fail? Overprinting? Or is the Hello Kitty IP oversaturated, etc.? I think the main reason was probably the TCG play. I think the main catalyst, at least, was the TCG player dump when they cut the price in half immediately, like in a week of release. I think that was really the biggest factor. Yeah, Wendigo is definitely... I even prefer the Wendigo to the Mothman in Nightfall, to be honest. Wendigo is definitely a sleeper. That's why I really want to see this Topps Chrome Sapphire set for Nightfall come out. I hope that eventually happens. And who knows what is and isn't going to happen with Metazoo going forward. But I would love to see a serialized Wendigo and Topps Chrome Sapphire. And a one-of-one Wendigo would be fucking awesome. The chef says 50% price cut is a sabotage. TCG player tired of the BS dealing with Metazoo ownership. That's what I would like to get Mike's perspective on if I ever got the opportunity to interview Mike, is what exactly happened with TCG player. Why did they do that? Did they ask permission from Metazoo first? Did they run it by them? Did they give them a warning? And I'm sure Metazoo didn't want them to do that. Why would they? Japan is all about the waifus. Yeah, Wendigo in Nightfall was sick. And I think that was one of the things that was so cool about Nightfall was there were so many cards that really fit with that darker kind of Halloween theme. Wendigo, Headless Horseman, Grim Reaper, a new rendition of Mothman. What is the craziest thing you've seen, Lyle? Reverse Fire Demon. Frozen Rain Orb. How many votes are we up to right now? 330 votes. Still 41 to 59. I hope Metazoo stays dark despite the recent criticism. It'll be hard to do that without Poncho. Gaming with Alex says this next pack is the secret rare, 100%. Mr. Sly says, so people are still into Metazoo after finding out they screwed their staff. A lot of people were saying that this stream is like a Metazoo funeral, and this is everybody attending the funeral. Nobody currently working with Metazoo has reached out to me, no. But after the artist video, there were several people that used to work for Metazoo. Like half a dozen that reached out to me wanting to tell their stories as well. Another Levlin rocket. Thanks, Sly. I appreciate that. And I know that Sly recently decided he was out on Metazoo with the artist situation. But I still think, man, if Metazoo could turn it around, if they could address these concerns, if they could release product on time, if they could treat their artists properly, clearly there's still a community here. Right now, it's very drama-driven, and there's a lot of negative things that the community is saying, but if you look at like the last 3 or 4 videos on my channel, there's thousands of views, hundreds of comments. This stream hasn't dipped below 100 people watching the entire time. The interest is still there, so if Metazoo could turn things around, they still have a foundation. There's still a base of interest there. But there's a lot of rebuilding that I think they would need to do, and it would be a tedious process, but I don't think it's impossible. Forest Friends. This one was done by Afton. Pokemon 151 says, hey, I'm new. Pete Dorr asks, did any artist, not specifically naming them, mention to you if they would return if they turn things around? I can say that every single artist that I talked to said they would not return. Metazoo did the same shit. Shaw, COO of Metazoo, did 50% off in his stores too. The 5 that I spoke to, I would say with the exception of 1 or 2, most of them directly, explicitly said they would never go back. And I think from talking to all of them, that was the sentiment amongst all of them. But 3 or 4 of them explicitly said they would not go back ever. The president of fun, Andy Murat. I was, again, I've never met Andy. I've never talked to him. I've never interacted with him. But I got a lot of messages about Andy after that artist video, and a lot of really funny roasts of Andy. And again, I don't really have a firsthand experience with him, so I don't have a personal opinion, but just based on what the artist told me, my first impression of him is definitely negative, so I was laughing at some of the messages that I got. There was more than one person that messaged me that referred to Andy as Napoleon. I guess he's pretty short. I think maybe I've seen him at a Collecticon or something, but there was definitely more than one person that referred to him as like the Metazoo Napoleon. Caster Gun, Full Hollow. Who did this artwork? Seb. Shout out to Seb. I like that card. He won't get fired. He'll cash out and walk away with a check. At least he'll be out of our way soon. So, Real Prince Metazoo, you're saying definitively you know that Metazoo is going to be bought and that he will be gone? I guess I'm going to have to subscribe to your channel because I got to see this video. Another Forest Friends. Honestly, I would rather interview Mike than Andy, Alex. Because I think I've heard enough different people's experiences and individual stories about Andy that I feel like whatever Andy says will just be trying to counter those stories. I feel like the impression that I have of him, based on so many different people saying the same thing, is accurate. And I feel like based on everything that I've heard, I don't think he's the right guy to be the president of Metazoo and to be managing the staff. And I don't think anything that he would say to me in an interview, based on the stories that I've heard, would change that opinion. Mike, on the other hand, I think there's a lot that Mike could answer. I think there's a lot of things that Mike could say that could change my mind about certain things with Metazoo. And I feel like there's information that Mike has that's valuable. I don't think Andy really has much. Metazoo board has proven they can no longer sustain it. The zoo has outgrown its creator and the staff. Big dogs need to come in and shake that rug out, says Metazoo Prince. Dragon's Flame. Or Dragon's Rise. This is done by Isaac. Cool. I always like this one too. Can we just refer to him as Chaos for now? Oh yeah, that was his favorite card, right? The Chaos Crystal. Lyle says he's getting into sealed Disney 100 movies. All right, 2 packs left of UFO, and then we're going to open up this Nightfall box to cap off the night and try to pull an old scratch. Maybe a Wendigo or two. I think Isaac said once that was one of his favorites. It's a really good-looking card. Getting bought out by a proper company with print distribution abilities is definitely our future and the very thing we need. But is that actually going to happen, Prince Metazoo? Or is that just wishful thinking? When the UFC was bought, they kept Dana White and never looked back. Metazoo being bought would be awesome. Yeah, that's my thing. Oh, there we go. Van Meter Visitor. I like this guy. Who did Van Meter? Ajuchua. I may have been wrong about the secret rare, says Alex. Well, there's 1 pack left. Don't fret. And I think before we do Nightfall, again, you guys can hate me. I'll have to pee again. But that'll be the last time I pee on this stream. Then we can finish out the stream and really juice this last Nightfall box. All right, so the last one by Poncho. Evil Wins Full Hollow. No secret rare, Alex. You're wrong. All right, 60-second intermission, and then we're getting into the last box of the night, Nightfall. And I have a good feeling about this, honestly. That's why I grabbed this box. I really have. I feel like we're going to get something good out of here. Not another loud piss. I'll make sure that you can hear it, Nexogen. Enjoy the ambient sounds of the waterfall. All right, that was a long one. But I think it still was under 60 seconds. My bladder is not strong. That's a fact. That seal is very weak. I've been waiting for a fart. All right, last box of the night, Nightfall. And I really appreciated all you guys stopping by tonight. This was a really entertaining stream. The chat was fantastic. It was good to see so much of the Metazoo community show up for this. And bear with me through, 3 or 4 pee intermissions. Do you think Metazoo could have done more to build a community around the lore, like maybe a cartoon or manga before the set's released? Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I don't think so. I love you too, Pokebarn. I'm glad I always see you in pretty much every stream. Real Prince Metazoo says, that asshole won't send me everything they owe me. Case of fan art, blisters for my art, supporter medals for me, one for my team, my girlfriend, among many other things that require communication through support. Prince Metazoo, message me also when this stream is over. I've had a couple different people say the same thing about the fan art thing. I want some more information about this fan art situation. Thanks, Otherverse. I appreciate that. Very soon, we'll be doing the Otherverse box. But honestly, I hate opening stuff that looks so good in a nice acrylic box like that. That acrylic display case looks so nice. It makes me not want to open it and just keep it sealed. But we will open it. We're starting off with a full hollow, which is a good sign for Nightfall. Potion Seller full hollow. Still here and pushing for the people and friends who have all invested and built timeless relationships in this ultimate TCG community. Bam Bam wants to know what Real Prince is sipping on tonight. Not surprisingly, my tequila's almost gone, which is why I've been peeing so much. Metazoo, the spoils TCG. Gaming with Alex, you better be right this time, bro. He says, God pack this box. If you guys have not liked the video, make sure you like. We're so close to our magic number of 169 likes. We got 158, but 69 is our magic number. The official LolCal trading card game channel says, Mike is the issue. The man held a frogman statue hostage for over a year. Yes, I've heard that story as well. That's definitely an interesting part of the Metazoo lore. The frogman statue being held hostage. A reverse permafrost. Do I think Metazoo will still release a show? I hope they do. But at this point, I doubt anything they promise. You should buy more Topps Chrome Mothman. I think the only Mothman that I don't have from Topps Chrome, I think I have a full rainbow, not of each artwork, but I think when you mix the artworks, because there's a original artwork and an alternate art, I have the whole rainbow, I think, except for black. I've got gold, green, I've got the Super Fractor 1 of 1. Yeah, and I've got orange, and I don't have a black. Nerdicuz X says, Metazoo will make it, everyone. It might never be as big as before. Look at Force of Will. That game is still going even after everything. We got a Boogeyman Reverse. Another great card by Poncho. Yeah, I bought the 1 of 1 at auction on eBay. I think my final bid was like 11,100, and then with taxes and fees and everything, it was over 12 grand. Nick, I want to send you cards. Is there a way to get your shipping address? If you can message me on Instagram, and thank you for that, by the way. Nick Strength and Pokemon is my Instagram. That's probably the best place to reach me to get a response because it's my smallest Instagram. But yeah, if you message me on there, I would highly appreciate that. And honestly, that's after posting that video yesterday, all these people that reached out to me, there's so many people that are like, I just want to send you a card as a thank you for making these videos. And it's been the coolest experience. People sending me like some card that they really like and just saying, hey, I want you to have this. It's been really, really humbling and really cool. Nice. There we go. The OG Poncho Wendigo. There's a 1 of 1 frog on eBay. I think there's a couple. And I think they want like $9,000 or best offer. I don't think it's worth that right now. I don't think I would even pay more than $5 for a 1 of 1 frog. Very nice. That's a good hit to get early in a Nightfall box. That at this point, if that grades a PSA 10, that would pay for the entire box. That's another mystery. You bought the 1 of 1 moth for $11,000, but Bailey supposedly paid $31,000, but didn't buy it for $60,000. Yeah, it is weird. It's definitely weird. And I even, on my channel, publicized that 1 of 1 Mothman listing. I made multiple videos about it, even encouraging competition against me who was bidding on it. And it's still, like, people knew about it. A lot of people knew about that listing. Obviously, everybody knew that the card was pulled and for sale. But I was very surprised it didn't go for more. This definitely is a unique stream. I'm enjoying it though. I've definitely enjoyed this Metazoo stream more than any others that I can remember in recent memory. But yeah, if you guys have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I think the next video I'm going to work on is going to be about the players that have not gotten paid. I've had a couple of them message me, and I think we're going to do... I would like to do an interview on the channel with them directly, but if they don't want to do that, I'll just get their stories and I'll tell the story. But really, because they were never employees of Metazoo, I don't think they have anything to worry about coming on and doing an actual interview on the channel. But just in case they don't want that target on their back, maybe I'll interview them and just give their perspective. I think I've had 2 God packs in my larger Nightfall openings, but never an old scratch. And a God pack is where every single card is a holo. But to be fair, I opened up a lot of Nightfall. I probably close, maybe more than 50 boxes of Nightfall on this channel. I opened a lot of Nightfall. And not at these prices now, not at these low prices of like 40, 45 bucks a box. I just checked my Instagram. I saw that you just followed me. LawCal TCG. As a competitive Metazoo player from 2021 to mid-2023, the players have been hosed so much, it's insane if you really dig into it. That's why I want to dig into it. Yeah, the Nightfall days were fun. That was during the Bridget era. Old scratch would be 1 in every 500 boxes, not 50. Yeah, I think if I think that's what he's saying. I think if 1 in every 500 boxes should have an old scratch, but 1 in 50 would have a God pack, and then 1 in 10 God packs would have an old scratch. Yeah, at this point, it's kind of hard to, Sly. When they haven't came through on so many things. A lot of people said that Bridget was not their favorite. Grafton Monster. Those really were the glory days of the channel though, like 2020 to 2021 when Pokemon was really boom. Everything was booming. Everything that I opened was like everybody wanted to watch. That was definitely Tina, the one that spanked the cards. Remember the things you could find in Hero Quest 2.0 if you scanned the QR code. I never did scan the QR code. Metazoo is literally a hot ex-girlfriend that is fun in bed but embarrassing to see in public. That's a good metaphor. I still can't believe that we opened up an Evolutions box every single week. Sometimes more than a box, more than 1 per week. That was pretty crazy. And back then, they were like $1,000 a box, or even more at one point. Those definitely were the days. A reverse Grafton monster. I think it was like a lightning in the bottle type of thing too, because I don't know if that's ever going to happen again where everybody, I mean, think about how many different streamers there were back then that are just gone now. I mean, all these people, some of you guys are still here in this chat, but we would all go from stream to stream to stream, and it would be like the same community of people in all these different streams, and they're all gone. Wood Devil, full hollow. Still have 140 people in here. It's been a pretty consistent stream. Why don't I hear people talking about how angry they are that so much invested money in Metazoo went to crap? It's a good question. There we go. Nice full hollow Grim. Oh, we still got a lot of packs left in this box. Look at all that. A Metazoo funeral stream every week. The ones that complain the most are gone. The ones left are hoping it turns around and are the real fans of the product. I think that is the one upside to it. Is that I think a lot of the flippers and the people that were not really in it for the love of the game are long gone. And the only people that remain that are hopeful are the ones that really truly enjoyed opening it. Yeah, the Nightfall era definitely, I agree with that. That definitely was one of the more magical eras of Metazoo, for sure. Spectre Moose. Streamers ran after the Hello Kitty discount. I spent a good 20K on Topps Chrome at Target and even Card Shop. I probably did too, honestly. Probably more than that. Full hollow Adam Ackler. Still going for sure, bro. And still 135 viewers, yeah. The Metazoo funeral stream going strong. What time is it? 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time it is for you guys. Oh, I thought that was the hollow. But we got a abduction full hollow. I thought we were going to get a full hollow entered cold there. Well, if you're looking to sell one of those black moths, let me know, bro. I still need one for my collection. If the price is right, I'm definitely a buyer. I'm still looking for one. More boxes. I will do this. After this Nightfall box, we'll open this Top Series 0 box. I think the odds are very, very low that we're going to get a first sighting or anything of value from that box. But we'll do it anyway. Because Top Series 0 was very searchable. It was weighable. Your chances of getting a hit are very slim. But that will be the last box, the Top Series 0, and we'll end it there. We've been going for what? 197 minutes? So that's over 3 hours. That's pretty solid. That has to be one of the better Metazoo streams we've ever done. Is to be close to 150 viewers for 3 hours is pretty. That's a lot for the zoo. We're only 2 likes away from that magical 169. We got a Bell Witch. Just got my PSA 10 moth first sighting for $650. Ooh, that's a good price. That's a good deal, man. That's come down quite a bit. Yeah, $650 is a steal. Or are you saying you got it? You got a raw copy of the card for $650, then graded it and got a PSA 10. $650 if it was already a PSA 10 is pretty. That's a good steal. Oh, bro, here we go. A second full hollow Wendigo from this box. So this was a box worth opening. That definitely paid for the box. 2 full hollow Wendigos. If even one of them gets a PSA 10, that will pay for the whole box that we just opened. I think the Wendigos are actually doing better in a PSA 10 than the Nightfall Mothman. It was already graded as a PSA 10. That's a pretty solid pickup then. Another Wood Devil. I picked up a PSA 10 first sighting moth for $660. Damn, the prices have really come down. I always like this card too, Born from the Earth. Seb did this one. And we have officially passed the magic number. We're at 172 likes. We might even get to 200 before this thing's over. This ain't no funeral, says Real Prince Metazoo. Hospice, maybe. TCG Doctor's got some serious work out for him. Yeah, someone just mentioned clumping. I think this is our 3rd full hollow Dark Watchers. I think I definitely started that downward trend on the first sighting Mothman when I bought that one for $750. They were going for right around $1,000 or more. So I went through and I made a bunch of best offers for $750, and finally somebody accepted it. And I feel like once there was that sold listing at that price, I feel like everyone started to trend downward. It's a nice hollow to get, Headless Coal Miner. The music reminds you of Team America. I can't take it serious. Yeah, Coal Miner had a pretty good premium at some point. Just a few packs left of this Nightfall box. Can we pull a Mothman? Can we pull an old Scratch? Lightning Split. Pretty good amount of full hollows here, though. Two Wendigos and a Grim, though. It's not bad. Obsidian Obelisk. Another full hollow Atomacular. We're getting a lot of full hollows, too. Do I play? I do not play Metazoo. I think I'll probably try to learn when the online client gets a little bit better. Lyle says he's trapped in Metazoo Mike's basement. Another reverse. And some last pack magic here, then we'll get to this bad boy right here. I actually do like the art, yeah. The art, the theme, the whole concept of it, I think, is actually pretty brilliant. Just horribly mismanaged. Oh, dude, nice. We're ending with a third Wendigo. 3 Wendigos in one box is pretty damn solid. All right, let me get a sleeve out for this. I think that might be... That's the most Wendigos I think I've ever pulled from one box. Yeah, that was pretty solid. Can't complain about that. All right, let's end it with Top Series 0, guys. Final box of the evening. I think it's highly unlikely that we're going to pull a first sighting here, but you could still hope for, even if this box was weighed, you could hope for the hollow version of the Mothman. There's nothing else in there. Okay. Actually, guys, unless that's just a hollow, that looks pretty thick. I mean, there's clearly something in the middle there. It could just be a hollow because these hollows are pretty thick. But that to me looks like a different card. That looks like there might be a first sighting in here. We'll find out. Joint Snake. Old Green Eyes. Killer Clown. It could very well just be a hollow. The hollows in this are very thick. Tripodero. Roperite. Lake Worth Monster. Sewer Alligator. Sliver Cat. Shadow People. And I think even all the non-hollow hits are towards the back, like the gold rarities. Dingbell. Puckwudgie. I think you guys were right. It might have just been this hollow. Salem's Witches. Probably not the hollow you want, unless there's something behind here, which I don't think there is. Yeah, look how thick that thing is. You were right, just a hollow. It was pretty thick, though. Can we get a non-hollow moth, though? I think they're still going. If you grade one of these non-hollow moths in a PSA 10, 40 or 50 bucks, maybe? Well, maybe nowadays it's probably more like 25 or 30. Who knows? Ghost Train is our first gold rare. Middleman of Alabama. Snallygaster. Piazza Bird. Yeah, Topps Chrome was definitely better. Not even a full, or not even a non-hollow Mothman. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for the stream. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you guys stop by for whatever my next video or stream is. But I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Nick Strength and Pokemon signing out.